شما چی کاره هست؟
من ربط داره.
چه ربطی داره؟
یک مسلمانم.
شما مسلمان
یه مسلمانم به شما دارم تو.
مگه فقط تو مسلمانی به من گیر میدی؟ نکن! من چی زنی؟ من چی؟
من نمیذارم اجازه درست کن ما شهید دادیم
نکنه
بیشرف تو غلط میکنی؟ خود نکن
What you just witnessed was the active oppression of an assault on women in Iran. Why were these things occurring? Why were women being dragged by their feet into vans against their will? Assaulted, beaten, because they were not wearing a hijab to cover their hair. These strict dress code laws are not only found in Iran, but also Afghanistan and Iraq, where the population largely adheres to ancient texts to guide them in moral questions, such as the Qur'an and Hadith. Now, I don't understand anything that was said in that video, so I got in contact with an activist against this oppression who's named, and she will give us some more background and information about the clips in the video. So right now you're going to see a conversation that happened between her and I, and you'll get more informed.
The person who posted that video, I'm one of her admins. I do her subtitles for her.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I translate the videos for her.
So yeah, I guess we could just start out with you. Do you want to tell us a little bit about do you have a social media following, a channel or
I'm kind of like popular maybe in Twitter, in the Farsi Twitter, like the Persian speaking Twitter, but not, I've never reached out or crossed paths with pretty much anything else. So that's sad when it comes to like my activities.
You speak English very well.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Because you're just fluent in English, so I was really surprised that you also are fluent in Farsi. I was like, whoa, that's cool. So you said
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You lived in Iran for a while?
So I was born and raised in Iran. I was born in 1984, and I left Iran when I was 20 years old. So that would be 20 years later.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Was that an easy process?
I mean, I was born in an Islamic country, and since the day we're born, religion is something that constantly you're being told about and you're constantly being taught about in school. I grew up going to gender segregated schools, and that's throughout the entire country. So it's not like over here you have Catholic schools that are gender segregated, or, you know, it's for us, public schools generally, everything is just gender segregated to the point that they've gone too far to having separate wagons for trains and the buses.
Wow.
Yeah, even when, so up to finishing high school, everything is just like, you don't go to school with boys or vice versa. Even your teachers are only women. And then once you enter the university, that's where you get to actually have male students alongside with you. So
would you say that males and females get the same amount of education in Iran?
Yes, they get the same amount of education, yeah. But once you're done with your education, when it comes to find a good job, that's where everything is not equal.
Oh, okay.
So you get to study, but when it's about like finding a job and like actually entering, you know, in the industry that you actually went to school for, that's where all the discriminations and all of that actually comes to place. And there are laws that actually protect that. If you want, I can give you examples.
Please do.
Yeah, sure. So, for example, the national ski coach of the women's ski coach of Iran, the coach, she was scheduled to go for a trip to Europe from Iran, and at the point of exit, when she wanted to board the plane, she was denied to board the plane because her husband didn't give authorization for her to leave the country.
So kind of whatever he says goes type thing.
So basically, that comes from religion, from Sharia law. It converts to an actual law that applies to everyone. And if you're married and your husband decides for you not to leave the country, then you just can't. It doesn't matter. You're a national coach. You are just a mom working at home. Whatever you are, if your husband doesn't agree with that, then that's it. That's the end of the road for you.
And that derives from the Qur'an and the Hadith?
And yes, that's strictly from Qur'an, that you have to be obedient of your husband or your fathers or your brothers and all of that. And if you disobey, then, you broke the laws of God and all of that, and then you get punished for it.
Yeah, I've read some of those passages in the Quran that are very misogynistic in that regard.
Yes, very much so.
I also see those things in the New Testament. So it's interesting to me that it seems like Christian communities don't implement that part as strongly as perhaps the Muslim communities.
Yes, they have, because they have reformed.
They have, what'd you say?
They have reformed it.
Oh, okay.
So they've reformed their religion. In Christianity, they've reformed it. They've come it down a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've noticed kind of the human tendency, at least at times, is to take out kind of the parts we don't like of religion and take the parts that we do like and implement those. So we see that differently in different societies, I think, throughout time. So it seems like your opinion of Iran is that there is oppression against women then. Oh,
absolutely. So it's not my opinion, it's what's stated in Quran. These are facts.
Yeah, the Quran, from what I've read, from what I remember, I have read the Quran, but it was a while ago that I read the whole thing. I still study it, but just segmented. But I do remember very misogynistic themes kind of throughout the Quran.
Yeah.
And the Hadith,
for example, there is a verse. There's a verse in particular that says, for you to, in case there's an issue with, between you and your spouse, your wife, if there's an issue and you're not happy with it, you are to tell your wife to stop this once, to stop this twice, to stop this 3 times. And if she doesn't obey you the 3rd time, then you have the right to beat her in order for her to not to do that again.
Yeah, I've actually made a video about that. Maybe not a specific video about that, but I've spoken a lot about that. First, it says essentially to reprimand her, I think advise family, then forsake her in bed, and then you can smack her.
Yes.
It's like,
then you can
what
smack
the
her.
hell is going on here? So I mean, obviously, gladly, I mean, it's good that most Muslims, you would probably agree, kind of don't heed that guidance, which is
no, that's
good.
not true. That is not a right statement.
Oh, really? No,
that's not the right statement. I'll tell you. So, as I said, when it comes to Sharia law, the laws are taken from Quran.
Mm-hmm.
The verses and hadith, as you mentioned, from Quran. So, when in the Quran it says for a man is allowed to actually beat his wife, that's domestic violence, right?
Yeah.
So now,
horrific.
When you take out the domestic violence and put it in the Quran context, just because the literally, God has told you you're allowed to do that, even if you've been beaten. Once you go to the court and you tell the judge, this is what my husband did to me, the judge is going to be like, well, the judge is going to ask the husband, do you want to divorce her? And if he replies no, that's it. Your case is closed. You're going back home with the same man.
And nothing is done about him beating
and
you.
And nothing is done about him. Because in Islam, as a woman, as a wife, you are his property. So he can do any damage he wants to his property, to the extent that if a father murders his child, he's not going to get a death sentence.
Can you point us, offhand, just off the top of your head, can you point us toward a specific verse or a specific surah in the Qur'an?
I can later Google it and send it to you if you want, because I don't have it on top of my head.
When I edit the video, I will probably I'll throw these verses
I can definitely do that.
viewers.
I can definitely do that. So basically, if you're a mother and you do something to your child, like there was actually a case in Iran, there was a case last year in Iran that a father and a parent, they actually killed their son. They murdered their son. So the father got less sentencing than the mother, even though the father did everything. The father actually, he was the masterpiece of the whole thing. Like, he was the mastermind of it. He was the mastermind of it. Even though, because of Sharia law, he got less sentencing from the mother. So it goes beyond to that point. And back to what you said, that if I think majority of Muslims are not like that, once in a country that is a majority Muslim country, such as we're talking about like Saudi Arabia, we're talking about Iran, Egypt, and the list goes on. When the laws are taken from Qur'an and it's Sharia law, it really doesn't matter if you are that person or if you're not that person. The law protects the one who are those people who want to commit those crimes, because they know that even if they do, there's no punishment or repercussions out there for them. Like, they can just continue doing that.
That's terrible. Absolutely.
It's awful.
Absolutely awful. I guess we'll get into this video that we kind of
Sure.
spoke about. So you actually, did you compile this video or did you take some of these videos?
No. So the person, actually, I want to give you a brief bio of her too.
Please.
So the person who actually puts the videos together and posted it, her name is Massey. Massey is...
she's a curly hair, short hair, never had hijab, and she's always... I follow her on Twitter. Yeah, she's very vocal.
She's an ex-journalist. Not an ex-journalist. She's currently a journalist. She's got a TV show in Voice of America, Fars, the Persian Voice of America. But she used to be in Iran. She used to be a reporter in Iran, a journalist in Iran. And she ended up fleeing Iran because of the stories that she's published and how she was anti-regime. So now, out here, she has her voice, she's got her platform, and she continues using her platform to advocate for Iranian women.
I love her, man. I'm always looking at her stuff. I'm always retweeting her stuff.
I know, she's so strong. I love her.
And for the viewers, this is her. And when I edit this, I'll put her information here. So this is who we're talking about.
Yeah, Massey Ali-Najad, yeah. So this video is, lately there has been a trend with the hashtag reality in Iran. And what they're trying to do is that they're trying to draw attention to the tourism side of Iran. So they're trying to get people to come and visit Iran, but they're hiding the ugly truth. That's about Iran. So what this campaign that Massey is trying to do is to show the real face of Iran and what people are actually going through in Iran.
I saw this video and it really shook me. And it's hard for me because I don't understand anything they're saying. And it didn't have subtitles. And so I was like, I'm all, on her videos a lot of the time I'm asking, what are they saying? What are they saying? So I'm really glad that you kind of volunteered to help me out. And
no problem. So in order for you to better understand it, let me give you like a backstory of what is exactly going on.
Please, yeah.
So 1979, prior to 1979 in Iran, there was Pahlavi dynasty. We had a king, we had a queen, and hijab was not mandatory in Iran. All minorities could practice their faith, and we all lived, alongside each other. And then after the Islamic Revolution, which was 1979, after the Islamic Revolution happened, the Islamists took over, pretty much like what you see with Afghanistan today. So Taliban, the Iranian Taliban took over.
Okay.
So they said, no, women are not going out in public with no hijab. So hijab became mandatory. Once hijab became mandatory, they started having these morality police going around. So there are the people, and I'm sure you've read stories about how they used to size the bathing suits of the women.
I don't think I have heard about that.
Back in the days, they used to do that back in the days, even in the States or in Europe or whatever. Like women weren't allowed to wear short shorts and whatever.
Yeah. I have heard about that. Here in America, I heard about it. Yeah. Yeah,
here in America, it happened too. But so that's what morality police does. But they're pretty crazy. So they come to you and they're like, oh, you're wearing makeup. You're not supposed to be wearing makeup. So wipe your makeup out. So if you don't, then they take you into custody. And then once you go into the custody, you get written up. And once you get 3 written up, then you get a criminal record. And if you get a criminal record, the next time they get you in, that's when they start taking you to court, and then they're going to give you sentencing. One of the girls that didn't comply, and she just said that, I don't want to wear hijab. The last girl got 24 years of jail because of not wearing hijab. Wow. 24 years. So now what you see in these videos are those morality police hand in hand with the actual police. So, imagine like the mentality that you have of police is to serve and protect. So you want them to come and serve you, but they don't. They come and help these morality polices, and they take the girls off the streets, or even boys. If you have long hair, if you're fashion forward, you're a good looking boy, you want to wear like a nice shirt or whatever, or cut off jeans or something like that, they come and they catch you and they tell you, go change your pants, or we're not going to let you leave. So you have to call your parents or your mom to bring you a pair of pants for you to change into in order for them to allow you to leave the station or leave the university, leave the school. Wow. It's crazy.
Wow, that's incredible. So that's what's going on in a lot of these videos. The morality police.
Yes. So I think now you have an understanding.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess I kind of would like to just do it in segments. So whatever situation it is, and then I'll pause it, and then you can kind of tell us what they said.
Sure.
Can you hear it?
من ربط داره یک مسلمانم به شما دارم تو.
What was that?
Okay, so you saw the first scene that the girl is dancing in the mosque?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so in order for us to enter the mosque, if we enter the way that she's dressed, we would be kicked out.
Really?
Yeah, you would be kicked out.
Oh.
You have to wear proper hijab in order to even be allowed to enter.
Wow.
The mosque. That to begin with.
Okay.
And this man is telling this woman that I'm a Muslim, and I'm Muslim. As a Muslim, I'm not allowing you to look like this. However she looks, she probably is showing some hair, because we're not allowed to go out naked or even like this. So she's definitely covering everything, but her hair is showing, or she probably has some makeup on. So he's basically saying that I'm a Muslim, and as a Muslim, I am not allowing this in my neighborhood.
Okay, that's what the guy said.
That's what the guy is saying.
And then it seemed like he was very adamant, and then it seemed like he took the camera away from her or something. Or...
Yeah, what he's trying to do, because she's recording him.
Yeah.
To probably put the video in social media.
Yeah.
For other people like yourself to kind of like get an idea of what is going on in Iran.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to kind of take the video and not allow her to record it.
Okay. All right, so let's watch this next one. They were on a train or something?
So yes, one of them, they were on a train and somebody's, the same agenda. They come up to you and they're like, I'm a Muslim, I'm not allowing this in my neighborhood. So those are the little morality polices that are stationed in the neighborhood. You know how you have neighborhood watch in your communities?
Yeah.
But the neighborhood watch in the communities that I've lived in, they usually look for people who speed, because the kids are in the street, playing. So they look out for those little stuff. But these people are the morality watch or the neighborhood watch, but they look for their neighbors if they're not wearing their hijab properly and all of that. So they come to you and they let you know. And if you don't fix what they want you to fix, then that's when they call the cops, and the cops come into play.
So on the train there, the girls, it's kind of hard. I don't even know if you can. It's kind of unintelligible.
That's kind of hard.
But
Yeah. That's kind of hard. I can't even understand. Yeah.
And stuff. But okay, let's watch this next one. This guy is crazy.
And this guy is just hitting her. Yeah.
Did you catch any of that? What she was saying?
Yeah. So the girl, the girl was telling in the train. The girl was telling the lady that like, why are you hitting me? Why are you hitting my camera?
Okay.
And she probably confronted her about her hijab. That's why she's recording her. And the other lady is just kind of like smashing her hand. And she's like, what? Stop it! Like, why are you hitting me? And the guy keeps on saying that, like, I'm a Muslim. As a Muslim in a country that's Muslim, I am not allowing this to happen. And she tells him, like, you're not an official, like, you're not a cop, or you're nobody. Like, why are you even bothering me? And he's like, but I'm a Muslim. So they have this self-entitlement because they're a Muslim. They have to do this. And that's the scary part, because that's the ideology part of it.
Because
that's the scary
the
part.
guy upstairs said so. So I have
that's
authority
the scary part.
to hit you with a coat, apparently, or to tell you what you can and can't wear.
Exactly. That's where it gets tricky in Europe and other countries. That's why when there's a caricature of Prophet Muhammad, they go apeshit and they go crazy.
Yeah. And
they commit crimes like that,
Yeah. Wow. All right, let's see what this next one is. Did you catch any of that when they're on the stairs?
That was so the mullah, ahun, the cleric, whatever you want to call him. They're coming down to go to the subway station. So he's trying to say that we've because Iran went through a war for 8 years with Iraq. So he's saying that we didn't defend this country and we didn't have all those casualties for you not to wear your hijab.
Oh, okay.
So basically he's saying that we defended this country because we wanted to be an Islamic country, so you can't, like, you're not supposed to be showing your hair. So I don't know how my hair could
like, what does that have to do with anything? But for him, it meant, maybe for him, that war was fought for the spiritual rights of Muslims, maybe. And that's somehow...
Not even.
Oh, really?
Not even, because it was another Muslim country attacking another Muslim country. So I don't know what he's talking about. It's just like they just get to relate everything to our hair. So even, okay, let me tell you something. Global warming, okay? We have Iranian officials on TV saying global warming in Iran is happening because women are showing their hair. And I'm not kidding.
Wow. Like, on major news networks?
On major news networks. And I'm not kidding. This may sound funny to you, but this is actually happening in Iran. So they're saying it doesn't rain, or all of this is happening because it's the end of the world, and you're all showing your hair and, social media and all of this. So that's why this is happening.
That's incredible. They actually believe that.
They believe that. They literally believe that.
All right. So.
Okay. So now this is a cop. This is because he's wearing a uniform. If you notice, none of them were wearing a uniform up until now.
Yeah.
He's now a cop, and he's arresting the girl that he doesn't think that is properly wearing hijab.
Oh, okay. Sorry, these are kind of fast. So yeah, they didn't say much when the police officer was taking down that woman, but in those two women that were fighting, did you catch any of that? What they were saying?
The two women that were fighting, again, the lady with the black hijab, she's a police force.
So that woman seemed she was unconscious. I think there was a lot of screaming in that one too. Did you catch?
There was too much. There was too much screaming. Too many layers. So there's also another layer to this. So you have the morality police stopping you, telling you to not to wear what to wear and what not to wear, and then you also have your own family. Like, I came from a family that's pretty much open-minded. They're educated, they're open-minded. They didn't really care what I wore and where I went and what I did. But there are families that are narrow-minded.
Yes.
They're so narrow-minded. So for some of these girls, for them to come out looking like this, it's not even okay with their own family. So for them to get arrested and for their families to be called in to take them out, to bail them out, that's a different level of, misery that they have to go through.
And shame. Yeah.
Yes. And the shame and all of that. So that's just because, as I said, everything is with permission of your husband or your father. So if one of these girls, something like this happens to one of the girls, and then the family gets called in and her father bails her out, if her father then decides that you're no longer going to school because of the shame that you put our family through, then that's it. That's the end of the road for her.
Wow. All right. Let's see this next one here.
This one was brutal. Do you see the catch hole? Did you see the catch hole?
Sorry, what's that?
Did you see? Can you reverse play? You see the catch hole? You see what they use for animals to catch animals?
Oh yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they use that.
Oh my! And they just put it around your neck?
They put it around your neck to take you in.
And this is happening today?
Oh yeah, this is new.
All these videos are the past month or something?
These are all recent. We're talking 2022.
Is it your opinion that this behavior is firmly rooted in Islam?
Oh, absolutely.
By the Qur'an
when in Qur'an it tells you to beat your wife.
Yeah.
That gives anybody authority over women.
Yep. Yeah, it's absurd, really, and I think it's time to do away with those ideas.
We have been trying to speak up, but unfortunately, in the West, us, the Muslims, I am a Muslim. I was born a Muslim from a Muslim parent. If I speak up against Islam, I will be labeled as Islamophobic and Islamophobia for speaking the truth, for speaking my living experience, what I lived.
Wow.
I'll be labeled. People tell me no, you're a racist, but I'm a Muslim. How can I be a racist?
So are you a Muslim today? You consider yourself a Muslim?
Oh no, I do not practice it, but
okay.
In the count, I get counted.
I really want to talk to you more because it seems like you have a very good understanding of Islam, and I think your story would help a lot of people. And so maybe let's wrap this up. But in the future, let's definitely talk more. I want to know more about your transition from Iran to Canada, and then also like I have a lot of questions about your perspective on the Islamic faith too.
Absolutely. And for having a better understanding, if you follow hashtag Let Us Talk. Let Us Talk.
Let Us Talk. Yes, I've seen them. Where should people follow you? On Twitter or?
Twitter, but I tweet in Farsi. I'm not here to gain any followers.
Yeah.
I just want to spread the information that people are suffering. Women are suffering in Iran.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and I really hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to talk.
All right. Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye.